Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Gaming the System, the podcast where three intersectional feminists examine gaming and games through a feminist lens. Today, I am your host, Matt, and I'm with my friend, Alex. Before we get started, if you want to support us, you can subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/gamingthesystem for some exclusive content, or you can send us a one-off donation via PayPal to our email address, wearegamingthesystem@gmail.com.
So, Alex and I are back after a nice Christmas break. We hope that everyone, wherever you may be, has had a nice break. And if you're chilled out generally, hope you're continuing to chill out. And so that's the message that we always like to try and carry through things, is to be as chilled out as possible. So hopefully, well, the way I use gaming, and I'm sure the way a lot of gamers use it over the Christmas period, is to relax and to zone out of the general chaos that goes around with a particularly different flavour over the Christmas period. And I thought we'd start off with what we've been playing over the break. Alex.
For sure. So I've really been playing two very, very different games over the Christmas period. And in fact, some games that I haven't played in many, many years over the Christmas period in particular. But I'll start with the main two that I've been playing outside of staying with family. And those are Astrobot and Baldur's Gate 3. And those of you that have been keen listeners of the pod will know that I have been attempting to finish Baldur's Gate 3 for some time, and I still haven't achieved that yet, but we have progressed slightly further through Act 3, and the amount of side quests in Act 3 is astronomical, and each one is very, very tempting to go and do. And sometimes you end up in a quest without even realising you're in a quest, which is always quite fun to do. The city itself is absolutely sprawling, Baldur's Gate. So we're very often just spending half an hour figuring out where we need to go because it's so easy to get lost.
At what point did you realise that Baldur's Gate is the name of the city?
Oh, pretty much from pretty early on, like in Act 1 when people kept saying, oh, in Baldur's Gate. And I'm like, and then I asked my partner, who knows about the universe but hasn't played the earlier games, but he just knows that that's the city. So, yeah, pretty early on. I knew.
Yeah, it wasn't
Why did
until
it take you a little while?
It wasn't until we arrived at the city that I went, okay, so you go, because it could be, who's Boulder? What is, even though you find out who Boulder is, the city's named after. It's really interesting. Have you done that quest?
I don't think we have. I can't recall. It's all a haze because there was a period where we didn't play for maybe 3 or 4 months. So yeah, we still really enjoy playing it, but we just had a period where we didn't play it for that amount of time. So getting back into it has been, as soon as we came back in after the break, we were just like, what is happening? We need to read the journal. What has been going on? But yeah, it's quite nice in a way because it shows you how many quests you've completed and you're like, well, actually, we've done quite a big chunk of stuff. We have to go and try and rescue Lae'zel because she's been kidnapped by Orin, so we need to go and confront Orin at some stage. There's still Gale's quest to do as well, with the Netherese crown thing, which we might do, we might not do. We've recently recruited Minsk to the camp, which is great.
And boo!
Love Minsk and boo. Yes, love boo. So that's all lots of fun. And we've got plenty of people in the camp. It was only last week that we realised Lae'zel wasn't there. We were like, where is she? And then we realised we'd left her kidnapped with Orin for several months and had forgotten that she'd even left because we haven't really interacted that much with her. And I'm sure plenty of other people will have lots of other characters that they've interacted with less or more, depending on who they like out of them. But at the moment, we are on the Astarian quest line and attempting to defeat Cazador, which is not going well because we're currently all level 11, and I think we might need to be a high level to withstand the attacks of the many werewolves that are surrounding him, and that one skeleton guy who's really annoying. But we did pretty well with the werewolves and bats in the ballroom. We disrupted their party there quite well, thanks to my sneak attacks as a rogue assassin. So that's going quite well. But yeah, so that's Baldur's Gate. And Astrobot I haven't completed yet, but I'm on to the final planet of the Ring of Planets around the hub world. It's such a fun game. It's really sort of modern and nostalgic in lots of different ways, because obviously it's chronicling like the history of PlayStation. So you've got characters and IP from across the PlayStation universe, from PlayStation 1 to PlayStation 5.
What's the gameplay like?
Oh, the gameplay is really good. It's a platformer, first and foremost. So you've got each of the levels is like a platforming challenge, and you can collect bots through your levels and also puzzle pieces to get things for your home world, basically, and try and restore the PS5, because the PS5 has crashed into the planet, and you need to collect each of the bits of the PS5 and put it back together. And there are challenging sort of mini levels. There's mini boss fight levels. There's boss fights at the end of each of the planets, and there's they're kind of like the buttons on the controller. So there's cross or X, circle, triangle, and square. And there are 4 of them in each sort of planetary system. And they're really challenging. They're really challenging platforming sort of levels. And then I think once you've completed the main game, there's speedrun quests as well, where you have to get through the platforming as quickly as possible and kind of set a record time. So we've got that yet to come as well. So there's a little bit of something for everybody, I think. There's loads of collectibles. There's also, just the fun of wandering around in each of the environments. They're so well realised, and like they really take a lot. Like if you've played any of the previous Astro games, you'll know that they really use the haptic feedback and the abilities of the PS5 controller to the max in these games. So there's always something really fun and interactive you can do. You even blow on the controller to make things work sometimes. You can trace things on the touchpad, all sorts of stuff. So it's really, really fun and interactive. And I think there's a slight upward curve as you go through the planets, but generally it's a game that pretty much most people would be happy playing. But there is that challenging element there if you want it as well. So yeah, I'd definitely recommend it if people haven't played it.
Yeah, I played the first one a bit, I think, and that was, I think that released at the same time as the PS5 itself. So
yeah, I think it was like a free thing that came with the PS5, so everyone could access it, which was really cool.
And I remember it being, that was when haptic feedback, this was the brand new thing.
Yes.
And it's a shame it's really expensive. I'm really surprised that they chose to.
I was surprised because I didn't think it would be much longer than Astro's Playroom, which was the game that you've just mentioned that came with the PS5. That's probably like 4 or 5 hours tops. But this game, I looked at the hours we've spent, because I've got a save and Tom's got a save. I think it said 71 hours.
Really?
Something. Yeah.
Wow.
It's mainly because I keep dying a lot. But yeah, it's taken up a lot of our time, and we're really enjoying it for sure. So it's a lot longer. But yeah, initially I remember before we bought it with the help of a gift card for my birthday, which definitely helped me feel more comfortable about the price. It is pretty hefty a price for an Astrobot game, but then the quality of it is the best out of any of the versions, and it is pretty much a full-blown, I don't know what the word is, tens of hours game, up to maybe in hundreds of hours if you want to commit to doing those speedruns and things. So, yeah.
Yeah, that sounds exciting. Hopefully it'll come down in price at some point.
Oh,
they might even release it on PC.
Yeah,
that'd be ideal.
You can, but hope they've done it with God of War, so yeah.
Oh, I've been hovering over buying God of War Ragnarok on PC for a long time now. But I've gone through quite a lot of games this over Christmas, and I've just finished another one, so I'm sort of drifting in that. Oh, I don't know what I'm going to play next thing, and I haven't been. So for my editing work that I do with Martin and Michael, I get paid at the start of the month, but they go on holiday for pretty much all of December and January, so I haven't been paid for December yet. So a lot of the stuff that I'm going to spend money on, I need to know how much I'm getting paid first before I do it. But I've been just pushing it back. But what I have done over Christmas is these are all games that I already owned, which always feels good when you go back through the catalogue and go, oh, I can spend a long time in that. I think the one I was playing, obviously there's Hitman in the background.
Of course.
Always, and we'll go into Christmas presents that we got in a bit as well. This is one of my favourites. It's a wonderful Hitman shirt that has...
It looks really good.
It's so cool, and it's got 47 on the back.
It's very cool. Yes, and lots of writing down the arm as well. That's very cool.
And it matches the one on the wall as well.
It's real.
So started with a game called Alan Wake 2.
Ah, yes.
And the studio in this universe is, you've got Alan Wake 1, Control, and Alan Wake 2. And I played Control because that was a sort of, it's called Paranatural, which is Paranatural stuff, which is sort of like it's Twilight Zone stuff, basically. And Control was the best way in because it's purely like an action game, whereas the Alan Wake ones are more survival horror, which I'm not particularly into. But I've had, ever since I bought my laptop a year ago, I got a free copy of it with it. And I finally went, oh, I'll give it a go. And it's bloody awesome. Real, one thing that I hate so much about a lot of modern AAA game studios was they just want the profit. They want everyone everywhere to buy microtransactions.
Yes.
Which is the death of gaming in terms of art creation, because if you try and appeal to everyone, you're just going to go for the lowest common denominator and say, right, we want to sell hundreds of millions of copies and billions in microtransactions. Whereas if you get a really good studio who goes, we want to make a game that will appeal to maybe 5 million players will buy it, then you can make something really weird and esoteric, but also really good. And this Alan Wake 2 is one of those games where you just go, this won't be for everyone, but it's fucking weird. It's this. Have you played
No,
Alan
but
Wake
I've heard a lot of positive feedback on it, for sure. I've seen clips and things where the environments will go in and out and things like that, and you'll suddenly be in a different world and then snap back to where you were before and things like that. But I'm not sure of anything to do with... I know that Alan Wake 1's about him trying to find his wife or something to do with his wife. But I'm not sure the plot of Alan Wake 2. So
yeah, I don't know what Alan Wake 1's about either. I've zero because I played Control, then Alan Wake 2, and then I've literally just finished playing Control again.
Oh, nice.
For the second time. I played Control years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. It made a huge impression on me in terms of the world and storytelling and characters and that. And it's just the best way I can describe Alan Wake 2. It's a psychological thriller with supernatural elements to it. It's sort of this weird, surreal world where it's like dreaming. You go, well, that shouldn't make sense, but it makes sense here. And it's got one of the most extraordinary musical scenes in it. It's called, the chapter's called like We Sing or something. And so Alan Wake, the core of it is Alan Wake is an author who, when he writes stuff in this area, it manifests into reality. So he's trapped himself in this alternate reality through his writing, and he's trying to write a new manuscript that will get him out of, it's called the dark place. And when he's exploring the dark place, you go to areas where you've got to investigate something, and you write different passages to change the scene around you to allow you to progress. It's defies explanation, really, how this game works, but it works, and it's awesome. And so I'm building up to playing Alan Wake 1 to see if I can finally make sense of the general arc of it. The other game I've been playing, Final Fantasy 16. I hadn't played it up till now because the main character's called Clive, and it's not a very heroic name.
No, it's not, is it? No.
And so literally that's the only thing that put me off playing it for a very long time. But I watched Angry Joe streaming it for a while, and the writing is actually good.
Yeah.
But the voice acting is fantastic.
Oh, nice.
And that got me wanting to play it, because that's what good it's one of those things where you go, you don't realise how shit most voice acting is and how neutral it is until you hear something that makes you go, I'm going to play it because of these guys' voices.
Yeah.
And so I got started playing that. I tried it on PC, but it's terribly optimized for PC from PlayStation, unfortunately. So I refunded that, and that was fine. And I hope one of the things I'm looking forward to is Final Fantasy VII Part 2 is being released on PC later this month.
Oh, good. Yeah.
But that port should be... There's no reason for that not to be an excellent port, because it's used Unreal Engine for that. Whereas Final Fantasy, the main games like 15 and 16, all use their own engine, which is only made for the PlayStation, PS5. So it's a bit of a crapshoot when you get ports like that.
Yeah. I was going to mention to you the nostalgia element that happened during the Christmas holidays for me, and that was while we were staying with family, and we brought the Wii out.
Hey.
After several years of a deep sleep, we revived it and reawakened it, and we spent most of our time playing things like Wii Sports and Wii Music, and even Just Dance at one stage, which was hilarious. Yeah, it's interesting because that is very much of its time, and it feels like it's like, you know, because they don't make it anymore, so it is like a little bit of history almost. When you turn it back on, you're like, oh my god, and all the memories come flooding back, like the music and everything, and the little Mii's in Mii Plaza. You can pick them up and put them down and all sorts. But yeah, it was a very strange coming back into it, and then realising that the last time you played certain games was over 5,000 days ago, and we were like trying to work out how many years that is. probably about 15, I would say. I don't know, quite some time, maybe 10. All the mathematicians out there furiously writing in the comments. But yeah, it was an interesting time. But it definitely brought back a lot of laughs, and that's what Christmas is all about, really, is having fun. So it was a great thing to bring out at Christmas, definitely. Yeah, it was a good time.
We've been through such, because you and me are roughly the same age. We've properly straddled from completely analog to unbelievable digital technology that we've gone through, and
we're the transitional age.
Yeah, because I was thinking the other day about, I had started off with a cassette tape Walkman, then went to a CD Walkman, then to an MP3 player, then to a phone, then to whatever we've got, the synergistic stuff going on now.
Yeah.
And I think that has to help us have an appreciation of the steps along the way.
For sure. And the older generation and the work that they've done to get gaming where it is now, I suppose. Yeah, definitely. Because, yeah, like you say, we understand... Well, we don't understand the very, very early days of gaming, but we understand its progression from analog to digital, as it were. So, yeah, it's absolutely fascinating, really, when you think about it.
This has brought us talking about the Wii is like the perfect family game for anyone, because it's not a tricky controller, it's just a stick that you...
It's emotion
thing, and any way into gaming for the family is always a good thing. And an awesome thing happened with my family over the holiday is that Mum and Megan have been streaming for months now. They've done a huge amount, and that's been tremendous, getting them both into it, and they've both been doing it independently. Megan has been playing Hitman like mad, and streaming some of that. So that's an awesome thing I couldn't have anticipated that she'd enjoy. But I said it's the ultimate mindful experience. It really is probably the most mentally healthy game there is, in my opinion. But so occasionally, normally I'll watch them streaming through YouTube. If I'm in my room, I'll watch it from there. But they started playing... I love watching them when they're playing horror games. I love being in the room watching them doing that. And I'll make some more clips to show you and Jem from this, because we've been playing The Devil in Me, which is the latest Dark Pictures game. And it's... Have you heard of H.H. Holmes?
No, I haven't.
He was a serial killer from 1910s, maybe. American serial killer, and is referred to as America's first serial killer. And this game is based on stuff about him, and so inspired by him. And it's very, very creepy. And me, Mum and Megan sat and played the entire game together over the course of a couple of weeks.
Nice.
And it was so much fun, because it was only Mum and Megan were playing it. I just watched. And just watching the two of them, it's just like having my own Gogglebox. Personal Gogglebox channel.
That's brilliant.
And it was tremendously funny, because I don't react particularly like physically and visibly to things in general. when it depends on the thing really. When the most horror games that I've tried, I'm sort of looking past them. Like with Alien Isolation, I'd played it before, and I was playing it for the entertainment of it. I wasn't really scared by it, but there is, I think, the second or third episode of The Devil in Me that we did. It was utterly terrifying. We had. Because the setup we've got, normally we have the camera just on top of the TV pointing at Mum and Megan.
Yeah.
But because I was sat in the corner, we moved the camera to the side so it could watch all three of us.
Oh, nice.
So we worked that out sort of like in the middle of our playthrough. But on this one, we were all sat on our little sofa together. And the sofa's just big enough to squeeze the three of us.
Yeah.
And I was sat in the middle between the two of them, and we've got this beautiful blue sort of seal plushy thing called Squish.
Oh, nice.
And I just had sat on him, and I was terrified hiding behind him.
Oh.
Because it was in that. It's the best of the Dark Pictures games.
Sounds it, yeah.
I've played. I actually didn't want any of the characters to die.
Oh, that's good. Usually they're so annoying.
It's just
I don't
useless.
care.
But all of them, there was a bit where two of them were talking with each other, and they've had like some banter between them, sort of a bit of edge to the banter, and the guy says to her, "Look, we're broken up, but we're still working together, and it's not okay to blindside me with something." He's afraid of heights, and she was having a bit of a joke with him, trying to get him over a bridge. And he said, like, we said, it's just about work. You don't get to blindside me like that with stuff. And she goes, "Yeah, you're right. That was crossing a boundary. That's what we talked about." Okay. And then they carry on with work. And you go, that's a healthy human interaction.
Yeah.
That never happens anywhere.
Never. No. You get to the nearly point, and then it all goes very dramatic and like, how dare you say that? But yeah, no, that sounds interesting. I wonder if the writers have decided that's the direction they want to go.
Yeah, it stunned us because they played House of Ashes, which was the previous one.
That's right, and I think we played that one a little bit, didn't we?
No, we played Little Hope, which is the one before that. So Little Hope was dreadful. House of Ashes was only better because one of the characters in it is one of my favourite actors ever. And you know how like sometimes you can have a certain actor in a terrible piece of shit, but then they shine through it somehow.
They bring it up, yeah.
And we accidentally killed him.
Oh no.
Which was fucking devastating. Because we misinterpreted two of the...
It's so hard though to know which way to go with these. When you've got choices. That's why I find it so difficult, because I'm indecisive enough as it is. But I don't like not knowing what the result of another choice would be. So I'd be a terrible person to play these with. I just complain all the time.
It was very funny. It was Megan. Megan can panic a bit in moments where, especially the bigger the decisions are.
Yeah.
So she would pause. You could pause it.
Yes.
And she'd just go pause. She sometimes when she's playing a game and she gets sort of overwhelmed by it, she'll close it and go to the main menu.
Oh.
She'll go quick game and go to the main menu and just go, okay.
Yeah.
And
Take a second.
Yeah, and there were so many times where I'd go pause, and then you can you can stir the pot with her a bit by going, oh, I don't know if we should have done that, and then she'll pause it and look at me. And yeah, this basically this guy is trapped and you can either leave him or go away or run away. And both of the options we left him behind, even though we were screaming, that's not what we meant.
Yeah.
Just twice in a row. So in like 30 seconds, you destroy everything.
Oh, no.
And,
Yeah.
That was devastating.
And yeah, I have a question for you, actually. You're, obviously they've got more into gaming as time has gone on and they've been streaming and things. Are they picking up little sort of gamer mannerisms where they begin to predict like the ways that games are? How you know, like if there's a lot of health in one place, there's going to be a big battle, or the little things that gamers are like, oh, I know what you're doing here. Are they starting to pick up on those sorts of things?
Megan very quickly worked out that you can often tell which kind of walls are fake walls.
Yes.
Going, oh yeah, the texturing of this one is slightly different because it's not the same. And doing the thing where, so in Hitman, you've got a thing called instinct vision where you can see through walls and see your targets and that kind of thing. And she was playing, I think we were playing The Devil in Me more, and she was pressing the button to activate the instinct to try and see through walls. Yeah. And it really is so Megan played a couple of years ago with her ex-boyfriend, and so she played it for quite a while then, and she's sort of reclaiming it for herself now.
No, yeah.
Which, from the sounds of it, is something that a lot of female gamers go through.
Yeah, I certainly. When I handed a bunch of games into a two game actually to trade in for money and for other games, because I associated them with my ex-boyfriend, or he'd bought them for me, and I was like, no, we start afresh. So there are some games that I like really enjoyed, but no, I probably won't go back to them because I'll be like, no, I've had my time with you. I'll move on now. But yeah, reclaiming it sounds like a really positive and healthy thing to do. So maybe I will look at my back catalogue and see some of the ones from how many years ago now? Nearly 10 years ago now. Oh, 9 years ago. And see if I can start them again. There are a few definitely good ones. Actually, one of the best ones, which I have played actually, so I can say I've reclaimed that one, is probably Shadow of Mordor. That one's brilliant. And Shadow of War. Although I haven't actually finished the main story of either, I very much enjoyed my time with them. Up to the point where I realised it was asking me things that I didn't feel comfortable doing anymore. Because sometimes it just takes so long to do an objective. Especially when you have to turn an orc to your side, or get an orc to kill someone else, or recruit it to the other side and stuff. And you're like, it takes you ages to work out a plan to do that. And then it's like, do that 6 more times. I'm like, but I've already done it. Don't ask me to do it more. So at times I kind of lost my patience with it, but I absolutely love the world that they made, and all of the collectibles I loved because that delved into the lore of Lord of the Rings. And I thought Troy's voice acting was amazing in it. And I just love, also the orcs' voice acting is amazing. There was this one orc, I think in Shadow of War, that I encountered pretty early that killed me 3 times and then came back with half an arm and an eye missing or something. You know how they change. But he was just called Screamer, and he didn't speak at all. He was just every time he would see you, and it was just so funny. Pretty scary actually, pretty intimidating. And some of them are bards as well, so they'll be lyrics. Making limericks and stuff. It's so funny. I think it's so creative. It's just a shame they haven't been able to build on the Nemesis system, because the Nemesis system is amazing. Where the orcs remember you and how many times you've died and where they died, and they'll come back for revenge. And I think it's such a cool gameplay loop and system. And it's a shame that other games haven't been able to utilise it. I think because Warner Brothers kind of said no one else can have it, and signed a lot of legal papers and things. But they haven't done anything else since then with it, I don't think.
Yeah,
Which is a shame.
It's hard. It's a hard thing to do, and most game designers don't want to put the work in to do something like that. You should finish those games so that we can do an episode about them, because they're awesome, especially
they're so good.
Oh,
and actually, also, fun fact, I'm sure I already told you, the voice of Celebrimbor
is Mimir.
It's Mimir. Yeah, and you wouldn't ever guess it because they're both so different. I think that's amazing.
We've got an endless loop of us reminding you. Yes. I say to you, and you go, "Oh yeah, I know that. You've told me that."
Yeah. So funny, so great. Yeah, those are great games. I love it.
We hope you enjoyed that episode of Gaming the System. If you want to support us, you can donate to us through our PayPal by sending it to wearegamingthesystem@gmail.com if you want to send us a one-off donation. If you want to donate to us monthly, you can subscribe to our Patreon at patreon.com/gamingthesystem. Until next time, bye-bye.